Hi everyone, Kristina here. Welcome to day 9 of the holiday card series. I have to be completely honest with you guys. When I started this card, it was like way back before day 6. And that's because I was using glitter paste. And as you know, glitter paste or anything that's like liquidy and wet like that takes a little bit of time to dry. So I did the first portion of this card before I did a bunch of other cards, and then I came back to it. And you'll understand why here in a minute. But here we go. Let's get into kind of a glittery, glitzy card with some white die cuts on top. The stencil I'm using today with the glitter paste is from Tim Holtz. This is the Falling Stars layering stencil. And I'm going to be creating a really long, skinny card. At this point in the process, I thought it would be a vertical card, but it eventually is turned to the side and it's a long horizontal card. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taping this piece of craft cardstock to my Easy Clean mat from Tonic. And I'm seeing where the stars will be once I put the stencil on, and then putting this tape in areas where it will not interfere with the stars. This just makes it a little bit easier so that I don't have to worry about any gaps in the pattern. After I tape down the paper and the stencil, I'm now using some ruby red glitter paste from Bo Bunny, and I'm only going to be applying this glitter paste to the very top of this stencil. It's going to be sort of in that top corner, coming down about halfway, but at a diagonal. My idea for this glitter paste card was that I would have it transition from a red glitter paste into a gold. So I want to make sure that there's plenty of room for the transition into the gold and also for all of the gold glitter paste I'm going to be using. In order to facilitate the transition between the two colors, I'm taking some red glitter paste and putting that off to the side. And then I'm going to pick up my gold glitter paste, this is from Nouveau, and I'm going to mix a little bit into the red glitter paste. This is going to just give myself a nice color to help transition between the two. So it kind of turns almost like a darkish red purple shade. You can still see the individual red glitter and gold glitter in it though. I think it's a really interesting transition. So I'm mostly placing this across that area right at the bottom of the red that I've already applied. And I'm making sure that I'm not going to dip back into that jar of gold glitter paste because I don't want to contaminate it with any of the red glitter paste that I'm working with. So I'll clean that off and then come back into the gold and get a nice clean scoop of all that glitter paste. And then I'll continue kind of mixing it on top of this stencil. And you saw I almost went back into the jar, but then nope, gotta clean it off first. I don't want to mix any of that red into the jar. So this is only coming down maybe 3/4 of the way on this piece of cardstock. So I am going to have to lift the stencil and move it down and add more stars. Before I do that, I'm going to scrape things off, get any of that excess, making sure I don't go off the bottom edge of the stencil. If you want to make it a little bit easier on yourself, you could put some tape over that bottom edge and that'll just protect the cardstock underneath. But I was just very conscious of the fact that I should not go off that bottom edge so that I would have a nice clean piece of cardstock below for when I move that stencil down. So I'm going to lift the stencil up, and you can see the stars right there. And then I'm going to rotate it and just kind of tack it on to the bottom of this pattern. And it worked out pretty well since all of that area on the stencil had been used with the gold glitter paste. So I didn't have to worry about any red glitter paste mixing in with the stars at the bottom. So I'm adding more gold glitter paste right at the bottom, extending that star pattern. And if I would have thought ahead, I might have just turned that stencil like 180 degrees, but this worked out perfectly. I didn't have to worry about that. So I lifted it up off my work surface here. I smoothed down the edges a little bit with my fingertips and then set it aside to dry. So now it's completely dry, and it didn't actually take very long. I think I probably could have been good to go after about 10 or 15 minutes. I live in a really dry climate, so that helps. For the die cuts on top, I'm using the Mary dies and also the Everett solid letters, both from CZ Designs. I love Kathy. I love Kathy Zilski. She's hilarious. I've met her in person once now, and I just adore her. And I absolutely love her font choices for all of her dies. So I've taken the Mary die and I cut out the shadow out of some vellum and then the main word out of some white cardstock.
put some Ranger Multimedia Matte Adhesive behind the word, and then place that down onto the vellum die cut. I press those together with my fingers and then let those dry. As far as the rest of the sentiment goes, I'm going to adhere the Everett solid letters dies going across the bottom and have it say Christmas, using some really thin foam tape. These are little foam strips from Derice, and I'm putting those behind each letter and then placing them onto my card here, the card front. And I'm letting them be kind of staggered, a little more playful. And not only does this look fun and playful, but then I don't have to be super fussy about how I adhere them. I can just kind of slap them on there and it looks really good. Having a more playful style like this really speeds things up, I think, because you don't have to spend so much time trying to get things perfectly straight. As far as putting the Mary on, I kind of debated where to place it and eventually decided on putting a little bit of that liquid adhesive on the bottom of the Y and the bottom of the E, and then placing them right onto the card. Or actually put that adhesive on the top of the T on Christmas. Then I took a little tiny square of foam tape and I put it right underneath the top area of that Mary, and that's going to give it some height so that that whole area is even. Taken some red cardstock, I think this cardstock's from Gina K Designs, and I've cut a little itty bitty narrow strip, put some foam adhesive behind it, and now I'm going to add this to the very bottom of this piece here. That's just going to give it a little bit of ground and makes it look more finished. As far as the card base goes, I've cut 2 pieces of 110-pound Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock. This piece is cut to 9.5 by 3.5, and then I scored a 1/2 inch on the one end. I'm going to put some tape adhesive down there, or actually this is some Express It tape, and then I'm going to put the 2 pieces together and fold that flap over onto the back of the card. This makes it so this card is a finished size of 9 inches wide by 3.5 tall, but it has the fold on the side. So this is a little bit unusual for these long cards like this. Put some foam adhesive behind my glitter paste and die cut area, and then press that down right onto the card front. So I really love all the glitteriness all over this, and I really love the unusual dimension and size on this card as well.
I absolutely love long cards like that. I hope you guys enjoyed that format. I do them a couple of times each year for the holiday card series, and it's one of my most favorite ways to kind of change up the different orientations of my cards. On screen, I've got 2 more videos for you to check out. These are the Day 9 videos for the years 2017 and 2016. And if you want to see the videos from 2015 and even farther back, you can check out the list down below in the video description. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support and for viewing. And I will catch you guys very soon for Day 10. I can't believe we're already at Day 10.